Desperate search for a California woman.
Denise Huskins vanished from her boyfriend's home on Mare Island yesterday.
Kidnapped for ransom in the middle of the night.
Ms. Huskins' whereabouts are unknown, and we are treating this matter as a kidnap for ransom.
Police have no suspects.
A 29-year-old woman being abducted from her boyfriend's home in the middle of the night doesn't happen. People were terrified.
It just gives me the chills just thinking about it. Sometimes life is stranger than fiction.
This was, of course, going to be a huge story.
Don't hurt her. Please don't hurt her.
This morning, a shocking twist.
Denise Huskins found safe in Huntington Beach.
On Wednesday, March 25th, news breaks that Denise Huskins, who's been missing for 48 hours, reappears in Huntington Beach, 400 miles away from where she was kidnapped.
When Denise Huskins reappears, this story explodes.
It was so sexy.
The bizarre kidnapping case that looked like a real-life Gone Girl.
It was Gone Girl, Nancy Grace.
Is Huskins a real-life Gone Girl, like the movie?
The movie Gone Girl is about a woman who fakes her own kidnapping.
Meticulously stage your crime scene with just enough mistakes to raise the specter of doubt.
Hinted on her husband who's cheating on her, and then leaves and allows the media to hone in on her husband.
I turn on TV, it's on every news network.
Now to the latest twist in that kidnapping case in California.
And then it just grew and grew and grew.
Denise Huskins was located.
She is alive and well, 400 miles away.
Where her parents live.
It was everywhere.
I couldn't believe she was alive. I mean, this is a bizarre case.
The mystery continues.
And that mystery has now become the subject of a book. It's called Victim F.
Her kidnapper decides that there's too many police in Vallejo. He can't take her back to Vallejo. So he takes her to Huntington Beach where her family lives.
Stops the car. He lets me out. He had put tape over my eyes and given me sunglasses.
Her bags are taken out of the car too, and she's instructed to count to 10 until the car drives away, and that they're going to be monitoring her.
When did you realize that you were safe?
I heard him drive off. I slowly counted to 10. I peeled the tape off my eyes, and I was by myself in this alley. I grabbed my bags and I started walking, and I looked at the corner street name and I saw Utica, which is the street that I grew up on. I thought, oh my God.
She realizes that she's within walking distance of her mother's house in Huntington Beach.
You know, it's a street I've walked down hundreds of times in my life. As I'm stumbling, still sedated, just walking down the street, all I wanted to do was to hug my mom and dad and finally feel safe.
She goes to her mother's house, but no one's there. She sees someone working on the home, and she asks to borrow a cell phone.
She first calls her dad, and he doesn't pick up, and she leaves a voicemail.
I heard the voicemail, and then I went into a panic.
Denise's parents were both hours away up in Vallejo, unable to get to her.
She was walking over to my house, which was a mile away, about a 10, 15-minute walk. I'm thinking, okay, I've got about 5 minutes to get a hold of Huntington Beach police.
I get to his house, I knock on the door, nothing. And then his neighbor says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I'm looking for my dad."
Denise goes to the neighbor's home and asks to use the restroom.
When I came out, there were already 2 officers from Huntington Beach Police Department and said, you know, "Are you Denise Huskins?"
There's actually a recording of the conversation that they had with Denise.
Where did they drop you off here?
Down Utica.
They see a woman who's wearing sunglasses who appears to be very calm, and her actual overnight bag is with her.
So I noticed that you have obviously your purse and your jacket. How did you get that stuff?
They brought it with me. They knew that it was my stuff.
She tells them the same crazy story that Aaron had told the police in Vallejo.
Denise tells them everything from waking up at 3 a.m. to the white flashing lights, the kidnapping and put in the trunk. She tells them everything she can think of.
I was put in the trunk of Aaron's car, and then he started driving. I was in and out of consciousness. I knew it was hours and hours that we were driving. I feel the car slowed down, and I realized that we're reaching our destination.
The entire time that Denise is kidnapped, she's regularly given liquid doses of benzo, likely that same sedative that she was given the first night.
Did you ever ask him to let you go?
I asked him if he was going to hurt me. I asked him if he was going
to kill me. He had said there was no reason for that.
They also asked in that interview, you were kidnapped for 2 days. Did they sexually assault you?
Were you sexually assaulted or anything like that during this?
No.
They didn't touch you or do anything to you against your will?
No. It's weird because it's all things considered. They treated me really nicely.
Although Denise appears to be pretty calm to the officers that are talking to her, she does express fear. She does talk about how she's scared. At one point, she actually says she thinks she needs to talk to a lawyer.
And our detectives are going to have to talk to you?
Yeah, I wanted to see about talking with a lawyer first.
I continue asking for my parents. That's all I want to do is talk to them. I'm asking, where are they? I just really want to speak to them. And then finally, my cousin comes in.
Hi. Hi. Oh, God.
Seeing someone that I know and love come in finally, I could finally take a deep breath.
Okay. Can you give us a couple minutes?
Thank you.
He just took control of the situation, my cousin, and I finally felt safe.
She has left the building with a family member, and at this time, all information is being turned over to Vallejo PD.
We're confident that we're going to be able to piece together this puzzle and have a better picture of what really occurred once we speak to Ms. Huskins.
The Vallejo police want to interview her as well as the FBI.
Nick, her cousin, who's the attorney, starts talking to Detective Mustard. And the first thing that Mustard tells them is, we'll give immunity to whoever confesses first to making this whole thing up, basically. And Denise is like, what?
Detective Mustard has denied making this offer.
And it becomes very clear to her very quickly that she is actually in a legally precarious situation.
It was obvious that I needed to get a defense attorney.
And the FBI wanted to give her a courtesy flight on their plane. I said, absolutely not. You make sure she gets on a commercial flight, and I want her to go directly from the airport to my office.
Meanwhile, what's being portrayed to the media is Denise isn't cooperating. We have a plane ready to get her. She turned it down.
We have not heard from Ms. Huskins.
And they say we've lost contact with her.
And we are no longer in contact with any of the family members.
And so the nature of the press conference turns very quickly.
From this point forward, I would not refer to them as a victim or a witness.
It was very clear that the only people being investigated were Aaron and Denise.
Police say the kidnapping was a hoax.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.